You are watching Darasa Online.
Yes, welcome to Darasa Online. My name is Liston Muhile, a teacher of economics. Today we are going to learn or to check on the topic of subject matter. So our subject we are checking, it is economics. The topic today we are going to check, it is subject matter of economics, and our subtopic we are going to check subtopic. Remember, this topic, it is covering a lot of subtopics because it is the first topic which is introducing economics to students, so it has so many subparts which they need to be clarified to students. So for that case, for today we are going to check some subtopics, including one, human wants. We will also check on the issue of economic problems, and we will also check the last part, which is production possibility curve. So as we have learned in the class, I will recall back from your class, when we speak of production possibility curve, it will be trying to connect or to explain how these economics problems, they can be shown in a graph, that is the PPF curve. So our lesson today will focus on these three subparts. We will check on the issue of human wants, we will check on economic problems, and finally we will connect these economic problems with the production possibility curve. So let's go directly to our lesson. So we start with the human wants. Human wants. Now, when we speak a want is a desire for something. That is a want, a desire for something. That means all human beings, they desire to get different goods and services. All human beings, they desire to get or to accumulate different goods. Now, a desire for something, anything that you wish to get, that is a want. But for any desire to be want, it should be effective. That's why we say a want is an effective desire. Effective desire, because not all desires, they are wants. No, not all human desire, they become wants. For a want, a desire to be want, it should be effective. Effective in what sense? It means for a desire to become want, it should possess some things. So a desire to be want, it must have four things. It should contain four things. One, there should be desire itself. Desire for a thing, that is one. So we need to have that desire for a thing. Maybe a desire to get to build a house, a desire to buy a car, a desire to buy a certain food. That is a desire. Then that desire should be marked by effort. That is the second thing. Effort to meet the desire. That is the second thing. Now this is you have a desire to get something, but the next step, you need to have effort to meet that desire. Then after having this effort to meet that desire, you need also to have a means which may be money to purchase the desire. So do you see? It means now you have a desire for that thing. Now you have effort to meet that desire. Then now you should have a means. A means, now you have money. You have income which will be used to buy that thing for you to meet your desire. And finally, there should be readiness. Readiness to spend the the means. What do we mean? It means here you have a desire, as we said, you have effort to get that, to meet that desire. You have a means, now you have money. Then are you ready to use that money? Because you might have money in your pocket, you have money maybe in the bank, but you are not yet ready to use it to meet your desire. So for these things, when they occur, these four things, that a desire, effort, means, and readiness to spend the means, then we say that desire is now a want. So all wants, they are coming from desire, but those desire should meet these four items. When they have these four things, then we say that desire is now a want. Then now we have the features of human wants. So features of human wants, or can say the characteristics of human wants. Try to, where you are, try to observe yourself. What are you facing in terms of your wants? What are the characteristics of your wants? Now, one of the common characteristics of human wants that we say they are unlimited. Unlimited in what sense? We say unlimited, or they are endless. Endless. Human wants, they are so many. Try where you are to list the wants you need. Try to list your needs. You'll find they are so many. They cannot be measured easily. So for that case, we say they are unlimited because human wants, they are of a number of needs. That's why we say they are unlimited. And this is the main characteristic, the main feature of human wants. So in all societies, human wants are unlimited. To all human beings, their wants, they are unlimited because of different factors. But the other characteristics of human wants, they are gradable. Gradable. That means, gradable means you can grade them. There are those ones which are most important, or we can say they are most urgent than others. For example, maybe today you need something for today. Maybe you have your wants for this day. Then if you list them, you'll find some, they are more important than others. That means you can grade them. This want A is more important, want B is less important, and want C is more less important. Now for that case, all human wants, you can grade them in different levels. That these are most urgent, these are less urgent. This is when we speak of this one. The other one, some human wants are complementary. Complementary. When we say complementary, two goods are complementary when they can be used together. That is complementary. So we say human wants are complementary because some wants, they are satisfied together. They should be satisfied together. That means if you have two wants, sometimes they are complementary because they have to be satisfied together. For example, a want which you need maybe to drive a car or to buy a car, that want cannot be satisfied unless you buy fuel. So buying car and buying fuel, that means they are complementary ones because you cannot meet one unless you buy the next one. So you need to satisfy buying a car, but also you need to have fuel. This is when we speak of complementary. But also we say human wants, they vary with the time, age, and the place. You see? This is also a nature and characteristic of human wants. That human wants, they vary. They differ in time, they differ in age, they differ in place. It means, for example, let's say in terms of time, the needs or the wants of morning, they differ from those one you need in the afternoon. They differ those you need in the evening. For example, in the morning, we need just a tea. That is our aim, and that is our want. In the afternoon, we'll be looking for maybe lunch. Then in the evening, we'll be looking for dinner or supper, whatever it is needed. In terms of age, you can see that the wants for those children, those young people, they differ from their needs for those working class, but also they differ for those old people. So the old people, they have their own wants. Those young people, they have their own wants, so they are not the same. For example, in terms even in clothing, in terms of food, in terms of all needs, you find they differ, they vary in age. But also in terms of place, let's say in Dar es Salaam, we have our own needs. They differ from those people in Lindi, they differ from those people in Iringa, from those people in another place, because we are in different place. Maybe some place because of climate, because of different factors, then their wants, they have to differ from the wants of other place. Then that's why we say now, human wants, they differ or they vary with the time, age, and place, because different people of different age, of different places, they have different wants. That is the nature of human wants as well. Another one, we say human wants, they are competitive. Competitive in nature. That means they compete. It means all human wants that human being needs to satisfy, they compete in getting satisfaction. It means there are some wants which they need to be satisfied first before others. Then that means they are in a competition. You have a little money there, but you have a lot of things. Now those needs will be competing. Which one should be the first? Which one should be the last? They compete to get satisfied. And the last nature or characteristics of human wants, we say human wants, they are some wants may change into habit. Do you get that? Some wants may change into habit. It is very common you find that some human wants, they have changed into habit. Habit means it is like now a tradition. We change it. It is no longer a need. It is no longer a want. It is now a habit. So we have some goods or some wants which once we consume, they are changing us or they are bringing us into habit. Let's say, for example, why do we take tea every morning? Sometimes you find someone is not even hungry, but he or she is asking for a tea because that time it is there. So he used to take tea maybe around 10 in the morning. So when it reaches 10 a.m., he or she is asking for tea. So it means that want of getting tea, it has changed into habit that once it reaches 10 a.m., I have to take tea. Even if I don't feel, I'm not hungry, but because it is my tendency, then I have to take tea. So that it means that want, it has changed into habit because now you need to fulfill it. Wherever that time arrives, then you need to fulfill it. So it has changed into habit. We have those people who said, for example, taking alcohols. Those people taking alcohol, it is the want, but it has now changed into habit because for those people who are taking alcohol, sometimes they are not comfortable if a day is going to pass without having alcohol. So it has changed into habit. We have those people also taking cigarette. If you tell them maybe eat food, they say I cannot eat food before taking maybe a cigarette. That case, this kind of want, they have changed into habit. And this is a nature of human wants, and we have seen these human wants. So having seen these human wants, we can see there from the board where we can get one question relating to wants. You check question number 2, which is saying there from the board, Jane has used 3 hours to list down all her wants needed. She reached a point where she failed to get more wants to list. If human wants are unlimited, why Jane failed to list more wants? So read carefully this question that I repeat. Jane has used 3 hours to list down all her wants needed. She reached a point where she failed to get more wants to list. If human wants are unlimited, why Jane failed to list more wants? So as we said, one of the characteristics of human want is that human wants are unlimited. That human wants are unlimited. Now, if human wants are unlimited, but Jane has used 3 hours listing, try even where you are, take a piece of paper, probably, try to list what do you need. After a certain time, it will reach a time when you will not be capable to list more wants. Then why do we say human wants are unlimited? While Jenny reached a point where she could not mention any more human wants. Because with that nature of human wants, they are limited because of some factors. So the reason there why Jane failed to list more human wants, why she didn't get more wants, there are several reasons. For example, because of that nature, for that time, she find as if wants has come to an end. But with the time, more wants are going to outcrop. When she will be given more time to think, maybe in some hours to come or after some days, it is true that Jane will get some more wants. For example, with the time now, human behavior, maybe technology, because of technology, Jane will get more human wants or more needs, because the technology that for this time I am here, the technology is maybe satisfying me with a certain type of cloth or certain type of food or certain type of good. But with technology, it can invent new type of goods of which will make me to demand more. Let's say, for example, today, Jane has listed a certain type of phone which is very good. But maybe tomorrow, the technology can bring another modern phone. Then Jane can also demand that phone. So because of technology, the want for that Jane has to outcrop because of technology. But also, we have the tendency of imitation of human being. Human being, they have tendency of imitating. So if Jane will be given more time to meet with her friends, she will get time to imitate from what other friends they are doing. So for that case, we'll find maybe she has a watch there, she has maybe a very good dress there, but after meeting friends, she will discover that there are some more dresses which can be bought from the market. So for that case, she will want another need for that time. But also we have the other reason, which is we have human tendency of accumulating things beyond our present needs. It means human being, we have a tendency of accumulating things beyond our present need. You find someone is not even married. That's an example. But she has built maybe 20 houses in different places. That it is a tendency of accumulating things beyond their present need. Our present need is maybe just to get maybe 500,000 for consumption. But someone has accumulated millions of money, of which some of them they have just stolen from another people. Now for that case, we have this tendency of accumulating things beyond a certain present need. For that case, if Jane could be given more time to think about, she could go on listing more and more and more items because of the tendency of accumulating things beyond nature. For example, you can find someone has got a lot of clothes, of which some they are going even to expire before even using. Because of what? Because of accumulating things beyond our present need. This is the tendency of human behavior. But also we have another reason, which is human wants recur. Recur means they repeat, they are repetitive in nature. That means once they are satisfied this time, they will occur again later. For example, these we call them as biological needs. Biological needs, especially food, water, drinks, and the other biological needs. They have a tendency of repeating. They will be satisfied this time. After a certain time, they are going to reoccur again. That means you will feel them again. For example, eating. You eat food this time. After some hours, you find you feel hungry again. You have to eat. So for that case, they reoccur. So probably Jane has listed those, has failed to go on listing more because maybe he or she is satisfied for that time. But as time be given more, she can list some more needs, or they can outcrop because of human wants having a tendency of repeating or reoccurring. That is the form of this one. So these are some of the reasons which might have caused the human wants not to be limited because of that nature. Okay, so that is for human wants. Then we move to another part, which you say it is the economic problems. So we go to another subpart, which is economic problems. Economic problems. So having seen human wants, plus the nature of human wants, the characteristics of human wants, plus that question we have tried to see that human wants are not unlimited because of some of these reasons. Then now we go to another subpart, which is economic problems. Economic problems. Now economic problems, What do we mean when we say economic problems? Economic problems are difficulties or challenges that economic agents they meet in an attempt to allocate scarce resources to satisfy human want. That is economic problems. They are difficulties or challenges which economic agents, when we say economic agents, are like firms, consumers, or the government, they meet when attempting to allocate scarce resources to satisfy human want. Now, when they meet those challenges, when they meet those difficulties, we say they are economic problems. Now, today we are going to classify these economic problems in two ways. That means we will view or discuss these economic problems by classifying them into two parts. Now, the first part, we will see those classified as many economic problems. Many economic problems. That is the first part. We'll see many economic problems, but these ones are also called the principles of economics. Principles of economics. That is many economic problems. Now we say there are many economic problems because these are the problems which result to other problems. It means the existence of these many economic problems, they result to other problems. That's why we say they are the many economic problems, or they are principles of economics, because they have to result to other problems. Now these economic problems, or many economic problems, they include the following. We have one, it is scarcity. Scarcity. That is one of the main economic problems. Now scarcity, what do we mean? When we say scarcity economically, recall back what we did in the class. Scarcity means limited in supply, or we say insufficient, not enough. That is scarcity. So scarcity means limited in supply. As we said, that is scarcity means limited in supply, or insufficient, or not enough. All economic resources like land, capital, labor, and other resources, they are limited in supply. We do not have enough land. We do not have enough capital. We do not have enough labor. And all other economic resources, they are limited in supply. In all human societies, whether it is a developed societies, or it is a developing society, or it is a poor society, in all societies in the world, the supply of these economic resources, as we mentioned, labor, capital, land, and others, these resources are limited in supply. They are not enough. And remember, these limited resources, they are required to produce goods and services to satisfy unlimited human wants, and as we have discussed. So human wants, as we have discussed, they are unlimited. But economic resources which are required to satisfy those wants, they are limited. So all economic, societies, they face this economic problem. Now, this problem of scarcity, it is considered as the main economic problem. The main economic problem. It means all other economic problems, they result from scarcity. Scarcity of resources, they are the one which brings all other problems. For example, we human beings, maybe consumers, they get difficulties in consuming because they have limited income. So their income is scarce, but they have to satisfy unlimited human wants. Let's say someone's salary is paid just 200,000 a month, but she has a lot of needs at home. It means the income is scarce, but the want is limited. That's why I say now scarcity is the main economic problem. And some of the book, they conclude that, or some of the economists, they say scarcity is the mother of all other economic problems, meaning that all other problems, they result from scarcity, or they are born from scarcity, because when scarcity is there, resources are not enough, they are limited in supply. It is where now societies, agents of economics, they meet different problems because of resources being scarce. Now, because resources are scarce, human society, they have to try to use this resource in two ways. One, you have either to economize the resource you have. To economize means to use what you have in the best way. Your little income you have, use it in the best way. Use it in efficient way. Use it in effective way, because resources are scarce. So the first part, you have to economize the resource. Economizing means you have that income, you have that resource, then economize it. That is the first thing. Then the second thing, because resources are scarce, the second thing, it is bringing us the second problem, which now you should make a choice. So choice becomes the second problem. Now choice, it is arising from scarcity, because we said because of scarcity resource, you have either to economize the resource you have, or you go to the second problem, which you have to make a choice. What is choice? Choice means you choose among the given alternatives. It means you have alternatives, then you have to make choice between them. So because resources are scarce, while human ones are unlimited, then societies and human being, they have to make choice. What do you need that time? What do you want that time? So because of unlimited human want, because of scarce resources, then choice is inevitable. Choice is there. So for that case, choice is choosing or selecting among the given alternatives, among the given choices. Then you have many items, then you choose among them. Then the process of choosing, the process of selecting, we say you are making choice. Now for economic man, an economic man, or we say a rational man, to make a rational choice, then you need to have a scale of preference. If you want to be a rational man or an economic man, to make proper choice, you need to have a scale of preference. What is scale of preference? Scale of preference is the list of human wants, starting from the most urgent to the least urgent. That is scale of preference. A list of human wants, starting from the most urgent want to the least urgent want. That is scale of preference. It means you list your wants from the most needed one to the least needed one. Then you say that is scale of preference. So for someone to make a proper choice, you need to make choice with the scale of preference. Now we make choice because of the following reasons. Choice arises due to the following reasons. One, because of scarcity, that is one. It means choice arises because resources are scarce. The second reason, there is unlimited human wants. That is the second reason as to why choice arises. The third, it is alternative use of resources. Now, because resources have alternative uses, then we are also required to make what? Choice. For example, land. Land can be used for many activities. You can use land for agriculture, you can use land for settlement, you can use land for maybe for any other activity. So if you choose among those uses, we say you make choice, because you have to choose. Should I use this land for construction? Should I use for agriculture? Or should I use for another activity? Now, if you choose among those, then we say that is choice, because that land has alternative use. So choice arises because of these reasons. Scarcity of resources, unlimited human wants, but resources have alternative use, then human beings are forced to make a choice. Now, once you make choice, it is what brings us to the third problem, which is opportunity cost. So it means after making choice, we expect opportunity cost to occur. It means opportunity cost and choice, they are twin. Opportunity cost and the choice, they are twins. It means wherever choice is made, opportunity cost is there. Once you make choice, there is opportunity cost. Now, what is opportunity cost? So opportunity cost as one of the economic problem. Opportunity cost means the best alternative sacrificed or forgone. What you forgo, what you sacrifice, that is the opportunity cost. It means we said after making choice of choosing one among the given, then the rest are forgone. It means those forgone, they are opportunity cost. It is the forgone alternative, the sacrificed one, not the chosen. It means opportunity cost is opportunity cost is the best alternative sacrificed when choice is made. It means after making choice, we expect opportunity cost to occur. So in our life, opportunity cost is very common. Daily, from morning to evening, we use opportunity cost. Every day. Even if you are not studying economics, you are not economist, you are someone, maybe you are a bushman, but still you have to apply opportunity cost in all life we are living. Because of what? In any time you are doing something, there is another thing you have sacrificed. When you eat, you eat a certain food, you have sacrificed certain food. When you do this, so in all decisions we are doing, it means opportunity cost is accompanied with those decisions. Even the government, it is using opportunity cost. For example, the government has little income. Then because of that one, there is so many needs in the society. For example, the society needs water, they need infrastructures, they need electricity, they need so many things. So the government has to choose. Maybe this is people around Ubungo. What do they need? They need water, they need proper infrastructures, they need electricity, but we have little income. Then we choose, we provide water this time, then we sacrifice others. So it means for the government, for individuals, and all the societies, opportunity cost is inevitable. It is there because once you make choice, then the opportunity cost occur. So opportunity cost is very useful for our life. So this is when we speak of these economic problems. Now, we go to relate these economic problems in the so-called the production possibility curve, as we said. So we move to production possibility curve, or we say the PPF, that is production possibility curve. Now we want to use this one to explain how the production possibility curve can relate these economic problems we have discussed. Now, what is PPF? We recall from class what we did in the class. That is PPF. That is PPF is the graph, or we say a locus of point. Locus of points showing the combination of two goods produced by economy when resources are full utilized under a given technology. So that is PPF. So recall back from what we did in the class. That is PPF. It is a graph. It is showing the combination, the possible combination of two goods. We assume that the economy is producing only two goods. How can that economy combine the two goods? Can it balance between the two goods? Then on showing that balance, we say that is the PPF, that is production possibility curve. Now, for example, this PPF, it is constructed by basing on some assumptions. It means there are assumptions which should be made for construction of PPF. One of the assumptions that we say only two goods are produced. Only two goods are produced. That is the first assumption. Then we have the second assumption, that is for PPF, resources are full utilized. That is the second. Resources are full utilized for PPF to be drawn. The third assumption, production takes place in the short run. In the short run. Remember, we are assuming short run because resources are fixed in supply. So we are assuming short run period of production. The fourth, fixed resources. It means resources are fixed in supply. It means resources like labor, land, capital, they are fixed in supply. Then in number 5, we have constant technology. These are the assumption of the PPF. Constant technology, that means technology does not change. We use the same technology throughout the production process. That is the second, the fifth assumption. And the last assumption, we say production takes place in a closed economy. When we say closed economy, means an economy which does not depend from international trade. It means there is no international trade in that economy. It is depending from domestic production. No interaction with the other countries, so no international trade, because international trade can increase supply of goods in the economy. So we assume that there is no international trade. Now this is the PPF. Now let the economy want to assume the economy be producing two goods X and Y. These are goods produced by the economy. Two goods, X and Y. We want to see how the economy can balance to produce these two goods. Then you relate the economic problems we have discussed previously. Now we see if we have item like this, we assume the horizontal axis represents good, let's say good X, while the vertical axis represents good Y. Those are two goods produced by the economy. We want to see the best combination of the two goods. It means if we have, maybe this is indicating the combination. You see? So it means this line here or this graph here, it is showing the best combination when the two goods are produced. So assume maybe this is 150, that is an example, 150. Then this one is 130, that is unit of good. Then assume we have this point here, we label it as point A, we have point B, and we have point C at this point. Then we have point D, and we have point E outside. What do they represent? That's why we said we want to connect the economic problems with the PPF. So we can see here, this is the PPF. So as we said, this is representing PPF. That's the production possibility frontier or production possibility curve. Now for that case, this graph here, it is showing the best combination. It means if this economy uses the resources given fully or fully utilized, we expect to combine them in the best way like this one. This is for these two goods. Now, if the economy produces at point A, now go with me to explain those problems we said, scarcity, opportunity cost, and other problems. If the economy produces at point A, it means this economy is devoting all its resources to produce only units of good Y. Because at this particular point, you produce 150 units of good Y, then you produce 0 of X. So it means all resources, such as labor, capital, and land, have been used to produce only good Y. At point C, where it is 130, it means you have used all the resources available to produce only good X. That means at this point, at point, let's say at point C here, you can see the economy is producing only units of good X and 0 unit of good Y. So for that case, if we move from point A, moving to B and moving to C, let's say, for example, you move downward from this point, indicating this arrow. It means you are moving from point A, moving to point B, and moving to point C. It means when you are at point A, you said you devote the resource to produce only of good Y. You produce 0 of X. So as you move downward, it means you will be sacrificing some unit of Y so that you produce some unit of X. Because at this point, we said you produce unit of Y, then 0 of X. So when you start moving downward, then you say you sacrifice. We said sacrifice means opportunity cost. So it means when you move along the PPF, it is indicating opportunity cost. Because you will be sacrificing units of one good, then increasing unit of the other good. For example, even when you move upward from this point by this arrow, it means at point C, you said you produce only units of good X. So when you move up, you have to sacrifice unit of X so that you increase some unit of Y. So again, when you move this point upward, it means there is opportunity cost of sacrificing X, then increasing Y. When you move downward, you sacrifice Y, you increase X. This is when you speak of opportunity cost. So along this, the movement along this PPF, it is indicating opportunity cost because it is involving sacrifice of one good, then increasing the unit of the other good. Likewise, this point A, B, C, probably and D, these points are possible combinations. It means the economy can choose to produce either at point B, or produce at point A, or at point C, or at point D. So because all of these points are possible combination, then you say point A, B, C, and D, they indicate choice. Because you can choose to produce here, you can choose here, you can choose there, or you can choose there. Though this point here, it is not good because it is showing underemployment of the resource. It means resources here are less utilized, underutilized, and probably there is underemployment. Underemployment, a situation where resources is used below its capacity. Either labor, land, or capital is used below its capacity. So point D, it is indicating underemployment, underutilization of resources, or less utilization of resources. For example, if a labor is employed and is working at this point, what example can draw? For example, if someone is holding a bachelor degree of medicine, then is just selling a pharmacy, that person is underemployed because the capacity is to be a doctor somewhere. But now that person is just selling pharmacy somewhere, then that is underutilization. Someone who is owner of master degree of teaching, then is teaching nursery school. This is underemployment because you are underutilizing your capacity, because you expect that one with master degree to be maybe employed in university, but now is teaching a certain kindergarten somewhere. That is underemployment. This is point D. Likewise, point E. Point E is indicating the point where, given these resources, we cannot attain. And this point, it is called the unattainable point. And because it is unattainable, it means it is referring to scarcity. Scarcity of resource. Because the resource we have, they cannot produce beyond this point. If the economy is wishing to produce and reach this point, probably it should do something extra, because the resource we have, they can produce only until this level. So to produce above, you need to produce to increase. For example, you need to increase labor, you need to improve technology, you need maybe to train and retrain workers to increase their productivity capacity, but also maybe you need to increase the size of resource. But with the given resource, we cannot attain this point. This is showing or indicating scarcity, and it is called the unattainable combination for any production. So as you can see, we have combined, or we have tried to show how the PPF curve can be used to explain the problems we have discussed previously. So this is the PPF. So we can go and check again in the question there. You can see in the screen those questions, especially question number 1. Question number 1, which is asking, as economic student, explain the areas where you have applied in one of the questions there also. Question number 1, it is about opportunity cost. It is asking, as economic student, explain the areas where you have applied the opportunity cost in school life. This is a competency-based question that we have discussed the opportunity cost. Now, in your school life, whether you are studying boarding schools or you are in day schools, but it is asking you, knowing the concept of opportunity cost, we said it is the sacrifice you make, the best alternative forgone. Now it is asking, as economic student, explain the areas where you have applied opportunity cost in school life. So you can try to use what you have understood from the discussion, then try to relate with your normal life. Where are you making sacrifice? So you can measure those areas where you make sacrifice. In which area you make sacrifice? In your studies, in your areas, maybe even at home, because that is your school life. What do you sacrifice? Let me give you an example. For example, maybe you have chosen acre as your combination. That is your school life. It means in choosing acre as one of your best combination, you have sacrificed the other combination. So that's the opportunity cost of applied. Because I have chosen acre, because I like acre, now I have to sacrifice EGM, I have to sacrifice HG, I have to sacrifice PCM and the other combination. So in choosing combination, you have sacrificed. So that is one of the application you have made, opportunity cost. The second example, in choosing school, you are studying in school X. You have chosen it as your best among many schools. Now you have chosen school X instead of school Y, school Z. It means in choosing those schools, you have involved the sacrifice. Because you have chosen school X, then you have sacrificed school Y, you have sacrificed school Z. So it means even there, you have included the so-called opportunity cost, because it has involved the sacrifice. This is when we say application of opportunity cost. Likewise, in your personal studies, when the time you concentrate in study, maybe it is a prep time, preparation time, you sacrifice some of the items there. In eating, you sacrifice things. So you have to identify those areas which at least you have applied opportunity cost in your school life. Now, that is, before going to the end of this session, let's have one question there for your homework. We have a question for your homework, which you can also see in the screen. So you can observe there is a homework. So if you observe from the screen, this is the homework you can do. It is also a competent-based question. It is basing on the PPF. Now, a village is wishing to produce two goods, yams and potatoes. The combination of the two goods is given in the table below. So we have a village, a certain village somewhere. This village is wishing to produce those two goods, yams and potatoes. Now the combination of those two goods is given in that table, where you have yams and we have the potatoes. Now we have yams, we have 85 units, 75 units, 60 units, 40 units, 20 units, then 0 units. For potatoes, we have 0 units, 20 units, 40 units, 70 units, 90 units, and 120 units. Now, from that table, represent the information in the PPF curve by placing potatoes in horizontal axis. It means yams will be in the vertical axis automatically. The second part, what is the law portrayed by the shape of your graph? What the law portrayed by the shape of your graph? It means, go back from what we did in the class, try to remember. We have opportunity cost, which they are indicated by the PPF. Now there are so many laws indicated there because the PPF can be straight, can be concave, or can be convex. Now from that idea, then what after drawing, try to check what law is portrayed there. Then number 3, can the village produce 40 units of potatoes and 80 units of yams? Why? It means you go in your graph, you try to plot the combination between 40 of yams, of potatoes, and 80 units of yams. Where do they meet? Then try to check, is that combination possible given that resource? If it is not possible, then give reasons why. If it is possible, say yes. Then the last part, what happens to resource employment if the village decides to produce 40 units of potatoes and 40 units of yams? That is, you have to explain in terms of employment of a resource. What will be happening? Will there be overemployment? Will there be full employment? Will there be underemployment? That is to explain what will be happening to employment of the resource when the village decides to produce these units, 40 units of potatoes and 40 units of yams. Now, before getting end to the lesson, we can have a short break for 1 minute, then we come to read the comments from some of students.
You are watching Darasa Online.
Now, welcome back after the short break. Now we have some comments. We don't have a question here, but we have some comments from some students. This is Asha Ramadan from Dar es Salaam. Hello sir, the lesson is very interesting. I've been getting problems in solving and drawing PPF, but after this lesson, I'm sure I can do it. That is Asha Ramadan from Dar es Salaam. Then we have another comment from Abdallah Juma from Morogoro. He's saying the lesson is very interesting. I had some problems in some of the areas, especially in economic problems, but now the lesson has solved the problems. That was the last comment. Thank you for your attention, and that is the end of our lesson.